What is up, everybody? Your eyes are not deceiving you. This is Off the Top. We are back. This is the season 2 premiere. Tonight, we're actually just going to dig right into this. We're predicting what we think is going to happen at the Royal Rumble this Saturday. We're going to go around and introduce everybody real quick. As always, we got Scales with us. How you doing, Scales?
Doing good. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. As always, we got Shadow as well. How you doing, buddy?
What it do, baby?
Let's go, baby. Another
Yes, sir.
another returning team member. We got Cam over here. What's up, Cam?
Yo, what it do, man? I'm ready for Royal Rumble, man.
That's what I'm talking about. And then we got a new face in here tonight. Jamie, why don't you introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? I'm Jamie. I just want to say thank you guys for allowing me the opportunity to come and hang out with you guys tonight.
Absolutely, man. We're happy to have you. Do you guys have any kind of things you want to talk about before we get into predictions?
Wrestling is fun.
Wrestling is fun.
It's fun. I hate it.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, before we get started,
Yep,
if I
I
may,
think you and I have the same thought. I'm pretty sure.
Jay Britt, off the top, send his condolences to the Briscoe family.
Yes.
Of course, I feel like that needs to be said live, but we've all tweeted it and etc. like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Losing an incredible talent in the ring, a father figure to his daughters, and of course a husband, brother, son. It's difficult, especially at a young age. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 38 years old, and then I don't know if anybody watched Dynamite last night. It was extremely emotional. Mark Briscoe to come out there and put on a great match with Jay Lethal, who's been a good friend of the Briscoes for probably that whole 20 years. It was hard to get through, but it was very fitting, very beautiful, classy, very classy move by AEW.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
I'm not gonna touch too much on it because I have a lot to say on it. With the show on Friday with Scowls, but yeah, it was definitely a great ending, a great tribute. So yeah, hey man, good on AEW for doing that.
Hats off to Tony Khan for getting that done. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and I talked about this on TikTok a little bit, but I also think that last image of the show of Mark Briscoe holding up both of the belts, I think Mark Briscoe should be able to keep those belts, those specific physical belts. I believe he should be able to keep those and take them home, have them create new belts for the tag titles if they have to, but I think he deserves to take those home.
I agree.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think that'll happen.
I don't think any tag team on the planet has consistently been at the top the way the Briscoes have for the last 2 decades.
Absolutely.
And not going to the show.
Right. And not going to, WWE. And Mark Briscoe had his first AEW appearance last night. So, I mean, it's definitely,
Emotional all around.
I do like all the beauty that's coming out of it.
I think going forward, they should probably retire that design and start over.
Exactly my thoughts.
And another point I want to touch on, somebody turned like 50 2 days ago.
I'm not 50.
But
Jesus
just
Christ.
just a special shout out to Scowls. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, man. I definitely do appreciate it. Hey, you finally got the server talking a little bit. It's probably the most action we've seen in there in a while.
That's what we're talking about. All right. So, what do you think, guys? We want to just jump right into this?
Yep. So let's
I'm
move
in.
on
Let's-
to the first match.
All right. So the first match that we have the Raw Women's Championship match, which on paper didn't look super crazy, but the developments we've seen with Alexa Bliss lately have definitely kind of ramped up the energy for this. So we have Bianca and we have Alexa Bliss. What do you think, Scals?
I'm actually quite excited for this match. I didn't think I would be when they first started doing it, but the transformation of Alexa over the last couple weeks has me believing she's actually has a chance to win this.
So you going with Alexa?
So my choice for this match is going to be Alexa Bliss.
Interesting. Shadow?
Throw to Jamie here. Give the young blood some shot.
Yeah, sure. Let's go
Alrighty.
for it, Jamie.
So here's what I think about it. I think going into it, you got the Uncle Howdy character appearing on Monday Night Raw. You have all these developments happening on SmackDown, then the carrying over onto Raw, and just the snapping of the Alexa Bliss character. I think that is going to carry on to her actually losing this match, kind of in an interference kind of way. And I think their plan is to carry on with the Bianca Belair as champion until Mania. And I'll touch into that later.
Okay.
That's a fair point.
All right. Cam, what do you got for this match?
Man, I'm gonna be the downer here. I really don't care about this match, to be honest with you. But it is pretty interesting to see the development with Alexa Bliss and her character and the Uncle Howdy thing. That's probably the most interesting thing about this feud. And I honestly think it's going to be some kind of screwy finish where Bianca wins by, I don't know, some sort of interference, some appearance by Uncle Howdy, something like that. And I think they're going to drag this out for another match or whatever. But I'm taking Bianca on this one. I just don't see her losing to Alexa. I would like for that to happen, I think, because I think Bianca's done all she can for that championship. But yeah, I'm going with Bianca on this one.
Okay. And if y'all are just tuning in, I know you can't see this, but we did just have someone else join us. You want to say hi, Phil? Maybe?
Maybe not.
All right.
So, Shadow, what do you think about this match?
Hey, I mean, we all know where my feelings lie with this whole shebang as it is, but the way this is falling out, it almost makes you think maybe Alexa is the one in control of everything. But I mean, that's what they want you to think, right? So, it's hard. Wow, I'm stuttering today.
Yeah.
I feel.
Jeez.
Yeah, I apologize. I feel that. I feel like Alexa's walking out as champion. I'm tired of seeing Bianca. I think they've built Alexa to the point now where it should be a quote-unquote passing of the guard. So I don't see anything wrong with giving Alexa the belt now. She has worked hard in the last 3 years, harder than any other woman in that division, in my opinion, to keep her character fresh and going. So I think Bianca takes the L on a Howdy appearance, and she gets quote unquote hypnotized kind of thing. And I think that's how Alexa picks it up.
Okay.
I'll say this, and I'm normally the one that hates that comparison with Bianca and John Cena. When Bianca wins this match, it's official. Like for me, like I will finally admit it. Like Bianca is like the female.
Damn.
Got some gun.
Bill, can you hear us over there?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
You all right?
Hey guys, I'm good. I'm good. Nothing, no worries.
You know we're
You got
live
your
right now.
opinions?
I know. My bad.
Well, I mean, you might as well join the show now. Do you have any opinions on the
Bianca,
Alexa Bianca match?
what do you
Well,
think's gonna happen?
oh boy. I mean, I feel like I feel like at this point, like anything could possibly happen. Like, honestly, I could see it going like different ways with this going on. I feel like, say Bianca were to retain, I'm not saying she will. I'm saying, but if she does, that I feel like, if she does win, that could be a moment where Alexa absolutely just goes completely unhinged.
Yeah,
Possibly.
I kind of had the same thought on that match actually. Shadow says he thinks that an Uncle Howdy appearance costs Bianca the match. I personally think it's going to be the exact opposite. I think it's Uncle Howdy's going to cost Alexa Bliss the match, and I'll go more into that later when we talk about the other match as well. But I think that there's a dynamic that they're trying to put out there right now that Alexa Bliss is going to continue becoming more unhinged, like Phil said. So I do think that as much as I want Alexa Bliss to win the match, I think she's more than earned another championship run. I just don't think now is going to be the time, as unfortunate as that is, because I do think that they're still riding this Bianca train till at least WrestleMania.
Right, and Nate, I think that's kind of what I was getting at too with this whole screwy finish or whatever. So yeah.
Right. So that takes us to what match is next, Scals?
Well, hang on. Let's just get a review real quick.
Yeah, you're good.
So, who voted Bliss and who voted Bianca?
So
I voted Bianca.
I
I
had
think me and Cam took Bianca.
I had 4 down for Bianca and 2 down for Belair. 2 for
All right.
Bliss. Sorry.
I was gonna say, that's.
That's
the
the
same
same
person.
setup.
Yeah, I get it.
All right, guys. Keep in mind, this is.
Who else said Alexa?
Me and Shadow were the 2.
Okay, then the rest of us said Bianca Belair.
Correct.
hmm
And the chat,
Okay.
because I threw up a poll in the chat, we had Bianca winning over Bliss 3 out of the 5. So 60% of the chat voted. Oh, just changed. It's now 4 out of 6.
Oh, yeah, okay. All
All
right.
right.
So we
Hold
got
on.
the women's championship match under wraps. I think it's going to be a good match. If anything else, they're 2 really good workers. They're 2 extremely talented women. So I at least, at the very least, we should get a good match out of it, right?
We should.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Absolutely.
And some character development for Bliss. And Bianca Belair is apparently allergic to character development. So moving on.
All right, so the next match,
Doo, 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 doo.
and we're going right into the pitch black match between Bray Wyatt and L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
There it is. Just waiting for that.
So Phil, since you're so already pumped up for it, why don't you go ahead and start us off with this match?
All right, let me talk to you. No, that was pretty good. Anyways, the pitch black match. Oh boy, like I'm still thinking about it, and I just bought my pitch black today, so you know I'm ready for Saturday. but getting serious, going into the nitty gritty. Honestly, I feel like we could see any. I feel like anything is possible with this match. Like I have a we I don't know. We might see Uncle Howdy there. Maybe, we don't know. Will Uncle Harper debut? Possibility. I'm really not sure. I feel like, since this is probably this is like Bray Wyatt's first pay-per-view match since his return at Extreme Rules.
It's actually his
So-
first advertised match, first televised
Yeah.
match.
Right. Yeah, thank you, Skills, for that.
You're
But I'm honestly thinking this one should go to Bray Wyatt since it's so publicly advertised and it seems to fit Bray Wyatt's character a little more than what LA Knight is. But I've heard some people saying that LA Knight should get the win because I don't know. I guess it's because maybe he's new to the SmackDown roster and all that. He's still getting his feet wet in the main wrestling for the main roster, even though we had the Max Dupree character, which did not go well. But I still think at the end, Bray Wyatt's gonna get the win.
All right. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Good aim.
Jamie, let's head over to you.
Honestly, I have no clue, man. The thing about LA Knight, he's such a talented guy. Mr. Eli Drake does not need to either win or lose to stay relevant. He could easily get his heat back on the mic the next night. That's the type of guy he is. I honestly think Bray is going to win it. I think there's going to be a ton of character development within this match, and hopefully, I just hope it runs smooth because Bray's definitely needing it. The crowd, some of them are starting to turn on him, even if it's fair or unfair. So hoping this goes the right way in his favor. So.
All right. Since Cam doesn't seem to care about the Fiend, go ahead. Just kidding, Bray Wyatt. Go ahead, Cam.
No, I never said that. No, I like Bray Wyatt.
I don't know. You
but
never said that before.
I'm pretty sure I said it before. Anyway.
Anyway,
Anyways, no, I think this would be a good match. I'm surprised nobody has said this yet, but all the teases that we've gotten with the QR codes and things like that, and the Firefly Funhouse returning, I'm surprised nobody has mentioned the fact that I mean, I think there's a possibility that we could see the Fiend come back. We could see Bray Wyatt come back as a Fiend. I'm not quite sure. That'll be interesting to see.
I have heard
I'm
that as
really,
well.
I'm really curious to see how this match is done because, you know, the idea of it being called a pitch black match kind of scares me. Hopefully, it's like no weird red lighting or it's dim lighting or anything like that. That'll just ruin the entire match, I think. Going back to what Jamie had said, first of all, I like the callback to Eli Drake. I almost forgot he was called Eli Drake back in Impact. But yeah, you know, it's funny because, you know, I like the feud because both of them have benefited from it because it's helped, you know, Bray Wyatt and his story development, and it's helped Eli Drake get over more with the crowd. So, and right now, I think, you know, LA Knight right now, I think he's bulletproof right now. And I think he could take a loss here and would be perfectly fine. So I definitely think that Bray Wyatt's going to win this match.
Absolutely.
I don't think he wouldn't. I think it would kill his momentum if he didn't. So yeah, I'm going with Bray Wyatt on this one.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Scouts?
My-
Oh wait, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, just my yeah, I'm with you, Cam. When you first hear about it, you kind of don't want no screwy idea about it. My first thought when I saw Pitch Black, I was like, oh, hope it's a cinematic match. So, you know, with WWE and the way
Right.
Ray's head works, you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
Cam, you said
All
that
right,
you thought
Scales.
LA Knight was going to win, right?
Yep.
Okay.
No, I said Bray Wyatt.
No,
You said Bray.
Ed Bray.
So we have so far everybody's for Bray. So in regards to what you said about LA Knight being bulletproof, I think they both are, honestly. So I don't think it matters who wins this match in the long run. I think it's more about the storyline and the arc that comes from this match. So in regards to what you said about the Fiend, I don't think we see the Fiend in this match. I think he'll appear later on in the show. But I honestly think that LA Knight is going to get the win on this one because Uncle Howdy or Uncle Harper, whoever attacked him in the ring, is going to make an appearance again, and he's going to be the one that causes LA Knight to win. And in regards to the pitch black of what you're saying, I think we are going to see something with the lights where it's going to cause the finish to almost to not be seen fully.
Interesting.
So I'm kind of with Scals on that too, where I think they're both pretty. I wouldn't say bulletproof. Bray Wyatt is pretty bulletproof in the fact that he's going to be over with the crowd pretty much no matter what. And the thing that we need to kind of consider with this whole storyline that they've been doing is this Uncle Howdy person is not there to help Bray Wyatt. He has been there to torture him, torment him, and cause him problems. So whether it's just, a figment of his imagination or whether it's someone who's actually torturing him, something like that. If Uncle Howdy makes that appearance, LA Knight is going to win this match. And that is kind of how I think it's going to go down. I think LA Knight has a lot more to gain from winning this match than Bray Wyatt does. Because this story that Bray Wyatt is telling is going to go on for a long time. Once LA Knight is done with this match, his feud with Bray Wyatt's probably over.
Or should be.
I think it should be. I mean, honestly, I think...
I'm okay if it continues, but it should be over at this point.
If it continues, they better have a good idea for what they want to do with it. But LA Knight is good enough to move on from this, and I can tell you from being in the crowd last week, the boos that they pipe in for that man are not accurate. That man gets big pops. He is popular. The crowd loves him. They chant along with him. I think he's a future world champion in the WWE, and I think this is going to be a good launching point for him because he's already on fire. He is I don't know if anyone else has benefited from Triple H taking over as much as LA Knight has. In all honesty,
now, Nate, I'll say this too. I'll say this because you said something about Uncle Howdy not being there for Bray Wyatt to help him. He's there to torture him. But now I'll say I think through that through that torture, I think he kind of is helping Bray Wyatt because he's pushing him to that darker side of Bray Wyatt, the Fiend or whatever. So I think he's inadvertently helping him
My
go to
man's
the dark
deep
side.
over here.
I don't think he's helping him in the sense of how you say. I think he's, like Nate said, torturing him because Bray wants to come back, and he was thankful for quote unquote all the Fireflies and fans helping him realize who he was again. He tried to be a changed man. He's not trying to go back to this demonic character, which that's what Howdy or Harper is doing, is forcing him back into a mindset Bray does not want to get back to.
Exactly.
So, right? So I don't know. But everybody, all 5 of you are expecting me to say Bray in this match, but I'm taking LA Knight. Mainly
Shocking.
because I'm taking LA Knight because I think Bray trusts LA Knight this much to carry a storyline with him. And you have to think LA Knight has done more talking than Bray. He's trusting LA Knight to carry the story with him. Bray, and we've all heard it in the past, is not easy to work with. LA Knight makes this thing look like a breeze.
Not to
He
mention,
is-
he's got to give him that trust too.
Right? So I'm taking LA Knight, and it's going to be a clean, decisive win over Bray.
So
Ooh, clean.
to piggyback,
And I'm also,
Good.
I will say that Harper will get involved.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be Howdy.
Uncle Harper.
But it's going to be a clean win.
So to piggyback a little bit off of what Shadow was just saying, who has really dominated everything up into this point in the match in the
Oh, Bray,
setup?
100%.
And usually, who wins when that happens?
The opposite person.
Right. And if they really want to make LA Knight a mega heel, that's how you do it.
Well, I mean, I guess if that's the case, why did Drew McIntyre lose to Roman? We're not going to get into that.
Oh my God.
Oh, one more thing on the Bray Wyatt thing before we move
Or move to the
forward
next.
here.
Yeah.
Call back to, or excuse me, source is C Wrestling. He and a bunch of his patrons confirmed that the shirt that Bray Wyatt was wearing on Raw 30 was a callback to his QR codes. That shirt is a bunny, and there's a quote over it. And there's a whole bunch of wording to it. I'd have to find it now, but it's like, it says he cannot forgive. He will not forget. It's constantly saying he within the text that's over this picture of the shirt that Bray was wearing last night, or Monday night.
And who does he refer to?
I don't think it's the Fiend. I think it's a whole new entity.
I don't know. Everybody's been saying that he is him, and him referring
Right.
to the Fiend.
Right, but I think that's too easy to figure out.
I agree,
I
because
do want-
Bray has not made this easy at all.
I do want to say this, too. The most amazing part about this is we can speculate, but the truth is none of us have any fucking idea, and I love that.
And it'll be the opposite of what we're saying.
For sure.
Right,
Hey, I mean, that's what we want.
it might be something that none of us have even considered. That's the beauty of this, and that's like the true creativity of Wyndham Rotunda, the man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we need to appreciate him for what he is, appreciate him for the effort he puts in and how much he actually loves this. And also, I hope he got to see his dad on Monday night.
So,
Probably had to pay the taxes.
before
Probably
we
had
move
to
on,
pay the taxes.
in the chat, Prince had said he doesn't understand how people who were waiting 2 years for Bray, and now they are turning their backs against him. And
Because they're impatient.
it's because they're right, exactly. Because people are impatient and they want people to do. They want WWE to do long-term storybooking, but when they do it, they
They
want
bitch.
they don't want it. So,
Facts.
as a wrestling fan and someone who does this, fucking relax. Just let the shit play out, because I
Right.
can
Yes, sir.
guarantee you, in the end, it'll be worth it.
Exactly. You don't
Yeah.
always need to nitpick through all the small things that happen each episode. Like you said, Scales, just sit back, watch how each part happens week by week, and then once it gets to where it needs to be, that's when you'll finally understand when the whole story starts to play out.
Right. And
Right.
all of us.
Sorry.
And that's just not a statement. That's just a fact of life. Yeah.
God damn it, Phil.
I was gonna say all of us, in our own way, do something in regards to wrestling. Me and Cam have the This Week in Wrestling show. Phil goes on live and does the watch-alongs. Shadow jumps in on that as well at night, talking about wrestling. So we all give our opinions everywhere, but we also understand that we know, like we're excited for what's coming, and when it does, no matter how long it takes, we'll all be waiting for it, and we'll all be
Right.
hyped as hell when it does happen.
I mean,
And
the
I'm not-
Bloodline story's
Go ahead,
been
Nate.
going on for 2+ years now, and people are still all about it. And what, Hangman Page took him 2 years to finally get his win over Kenny Omega for the AEW Championship. People were all about it. What makes this different?
Right. Because it's
But-
WWE.
I'm not saying I'm giving up on Bray at all. I'm just saying I think if Wyndham trusts Eli Drake this much, then I feel like that's the way the story needs to go.
I think so also. So, yeah, that match should definitely
Because
be...
he doesn't just put his trust in anybody. Like, we all see it, he's a very closed off person.
Right. I mean, yeah, he disappeared after, he got released. He barely even tweeted. Like,
No, he disappeared. He didn't care. Like, it was just him and his girlfriend, because they're not married or fiance or nothing like that yet. So,
No, I think they are. I think they are fiancé now.
I think he proposed to
I
her,
think
yeah.
she just announced
A
it
recent
recently.
thing, yeah.
When
Yeah, he did.
they
well,
picked
either
the
way,
date.
at the time of
No.
this release and all that, they just went quiet. They went off the grid, and I think nothing better than that for Bray. We all know he was dealing with a lot of personal stuff, but it was good for him to, I think, refresh. And I'm glad he's back.
Right.
So before we move on to the next match,
Yeah.
I just want to announce the winner of the giveaway in our Discord server. So
Better
congratulations
be me.
to Eddie Clutch. I don't know who that is in a server, but I will be reaching out to you so I can get your information to claim your prize. And Shadow, you were second.
Mother.
So you earned a spot on a podcast with us.
Hell yes.
Awesome. Hell yeah, let's go.
Congratulations.
Wait. Let me redo this. Hell yeah, let's go. Let's go, baby.
Yowie, wowie.
Respect to Justin Bundy. All right, let's go.
Just a
All
moment.
right. So the next
look-
match we're going to discuss is the Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns match.
This is a match that we've gotten 3 times already during this title reign alone. However, this one feels so much different than the other 3. So, like, the other 3, they're just building this feud between KO and Roman, where KO just wants to win the championship. And the Bloodline hadn't really been fully established as this dominant faction yet. So you had, I think it was 2 years ago, they had that last man standing match at the Rumble, right?
Yeah,
Or
it
Kevin
was
Owens won.
21.
Kevin Owens basically won, yes. But anyway,
Not basically, he did win.
Basically, he won. The ref just stopped counting because that was not supposed to be the result.
Yeah, the handcuffs they used were actually real handcuffs, not stage ones.
Those are shoot handcuffs.
and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this one feels a lot different than those ones did. With the storyline that now incorporates Sami Zayn into it. And, I mean, there's a lot to go off of here. So,
Yeah, there's a
right,
lot to digest in this.
Right. So, I mean, who hasn't started one yet? I think Cam hasn't gone first yet. Why don't we let him take this one?
Man, I don't know. This feud hurts my head because it's so complex. As you said, it's so much to unwrap in this entire bloodline and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It's so much, but to keep it simple, like I said, I think Roman Reigns retains. I just don't see them taking the title off Roman just yet. Now I could honestly see Kevin winning just for shock value. But then I could knowing WWE's past booking, I could see that happening, and then they have some immediate rematch on Raw, and then Roman wins it back. So it wouldn't even mean anything if that were to happen. But just I don't know. Realistically, I just don't see it happening. So, just to keep it simple, like I said, I see Roman coming out of this still champ.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, go ahead, Shadow.
No, I just said,
Oh. So, I mean, I think as far as all the matches on this card go, this one might be the most open and shut. I don't think it's a question of whether or not Roman Reigns is going to win. I think it's going to be a question of what Sami Zayn does that either causes Roman to win or causes Kevin Owens to possibly win by disqualification. Something to that matter. I think it's going to come down to who Sami Zayn is there to give an assist to. And that's the bigger story that's going to be told here. I love Kevin Owens. The dude is way overdue for another title run. It's been almost 7 years since he's held a world title. And I think he's way overdue. I do think he will get his time later this year. I do believe that's happening, but this is Roman's match.
The thing that really tips me off to Roman winning, of course, is just me seeing that it's for the undisputed championship. You know, I still believe of the theory that they are going to split the titles probably at Mania in a night 1 match and a night 2 match, which kind of leads to the Sami Zayn thing and kind of which way they're going. My theory on that would be that Sami is going to end up, you know, aligning with Owens, you know, in his final test. And then that's going to cause for the Elimination Chamber match, which I don't think Roman's going to defend in the Chamber, but I do think he'll defend probably against Sami that night, end up going over, and then the winner of the Rumble and whatever plays out then at Mania. But that's kind of my theory for the next few months in that storyline.
So you're talking basically a whole Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston type situation again?
Not really, because I think in the end, what's going to happen at Mania is I think it's going to be KO and Sami versus the Usos. I think there's going to be a lot of runaround, though, and a lot of squirreling around to get to that point, though.
Okay.
You know what? I've actually thought the same thing.
Go ahead, Phil.
Oh, well, yeah. The way I've kind of seen the way the way that I saw things before the whole trial took place, I figured it was going to be, you know, Kevin Owens faces Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble, unsuccessful. I don't know what was going to happen. I don't know what may happen between Royal Rumble Elimination Chamber, but I figured it was going to be Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn. And then as you make your way into WrestleMania, indeed it would be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos, who then eventually upset the Usos to become new undisputed tag champs. But with what happened with the trial of Sami Zayn, especially knowing that Roman's saying your final test will be at the Royal Rumble. Now I've got so many scenarios happening in my head. Like, is Roman gonna make Sami enter the Rumble at number 1 and see if he can survive the entire thing, or will he come in at number 30 and be guaranteed the chance to win? Or, like, again, I don't know what this final test may be, but all we know is that it's going to be something big, and it will determine the fate of and it may just determine the fate of the bloodline as a whole.
I mean, the more I look at this whole bloodline story over the last, 3.5, 4 weeks, I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to notice little cracks and stuff within them now. And they're starting to show, like I said, the cracks in their armor. Because the Usos almost lost Monday. Okay? If they're built the way they've been built, why? Right? So that makes you question that. And now, not very often that Roman's looked weak heading into a storyline, but KO is making Roman look weak right now. I understand that that's probably for deceiving factors. I get it. My heart says KO is winning. My brain, it's Roman. I think if anybody deserves at push to the moon right now, it's Kevin Owens. He has showed his loyalty to WWE. He's done stupid storylines, whether you want to call it stupid or not, but with like Jericho, Elias, like these are some
Ezekiel.
dumb stories he's committing to, and he is showing his loyalty to the company.
They also trusted him enough to give Stone Cold his first match in 20 fucking years.
That as well, right? So I don't think it's as clear cut as some people make it seem when it comes to Roman and Kevin here on Saturday. I think it's a true toss up this time.
Well, I
But
guess-
like I said, my heart says Owens, my brain says Reigns, so I'm gonna go with Reigns to win because I mean there's more story to be told.
So
Right.
all 5 of you that have spoken so far all went Reigns, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not going to be different. I was
Well,
tempted.
shit.
I was tempted. But
Wow.
in regards to what you just said, that the person that deserves it the most is Kevin Owens, I don't think you're correct on that one. The person that deserves it the most is Sami Zayn.
Sammy.
And in regards
In,
to
in my, I'm leaving out Sammy because there's more of a story to be told, right? So
Right.
I'll let you finish your thought, and then I'll go back into why I left out Sammy out of this equation.
Okay. So, in regards to what Jamie said earlier about WrestleMania having night 1 and night 2, 2 different titles on the line, I think Roman loses one at the Chamber, and I think it's the WWE Championship to Sami Zayn, and I think they give him a short title run with that belt, and then somehow it turns into Roman just keeping Universal, and he does not lose that for a long time, no matter who he fights at WrestleMania. Because that's the one that he has the time frame with. That's the one that he's the closest to 1,000 days with already. That's the title he's holding on to. So, whatever happens, if he drops any, it will only be one of them. In regards to this match, there's going to be so many close calls, near falls, everything. I think Sammy will fail his test, and that's how they lead to him versus Roman at the Chamber. And I think KO wins by DQ. But I have my reservations on that, so that's why I'm sticking with Roman Reigns, because that's the smart decision to do.
All right, I think all of us agree like that Kevin should go over, but we all figured Reigns is just gonna win.
Because
So,
we know everything has changed within WWE. We just don't know if it's changed that much.
Right.
Right, and if you noticed when I explained my part of this, I never said anything about Sammy, because in my heart and mind, I'm thinking, okay, KO is probably gonna win in this sense, but I'm again trying to be logical here, and I think Sammy's gonna cost Roman, and it's not gonna be a DQ. I think if KO is to win, it's because Sammy somehow tries to overshow his commitment to the bloodline, and it ultimately turns that Reigns takes the blunt end of something that he shouldn't, and boom, 1, 2, 3, and then we have KO versus Sammy at Elimination Chamber. The two Montreal boys, or excuse me, the two Quebecois boys, fighting for the biggest gold.
That just means Roman would have to lose the Universal. And I really think that they want to get to that 1,000-day mark.
Maybe they do. I mean, we still have tomorrow night on SmackDown that could potentially change what title or titles are on the line.
Very true. Very true.
We could have Roman say, "No, I'm not defending the Universal again. So you have to defend the WWE." And if that happens,
He's losing.
guarantee you KO.
Yep.
You know,
Well,
like
see-
if I could just say something about SmackDown, like I mean, I know we saw like Sonya go after Bianca for the Raw Tag Team title on Monday. What if, knowing that Sonya Deville right now is having like a little bit of beef right now with Charlotte, that we see Charlotte and Sonya Deville at the Royal Rumble? I'm saying it's a possibility. It could happen. It couldn't happen.
Well, by that logic, Bill, if I may.
I actually think it does happen. It's just I'm not going to talk about something just in case it doesn't.
By Phil's logic, we should have Bailey versus Becky at Rumble too.
No, they're saving they're saving that for another Monday Night Raw, and there is going to be a gimmick match in regards to that. I don't think it's going to be a cage. I don't know what they're going to do. But they use that to set up
Right.
another match. But they won't do
I
that
think,
because they want them to be in the Rumble too. Like, they don't want to...
Oh, is it? So
I do have-
unanimously, we voted for Roman Reigns to win.
Oh yeah.
And I guess I have a couple of questions on this match too for you guys before we move on to the Rumble matches.
Okay.
The first question I have is, after what we witnessed on Monday and the trial of Sami Zayn segment,
Which was amazing.
what's the possibility that Jey Uso somehow figures into the finish? After the way he helped Sami out, and I don't think anyone. I mean, maybe it makes sense. The storyline development makes sense because Jay started off at odds with Roman when he first, started this tribal chief thing, and then he basically got suckered into being his lackey because he lost to him.
Right.
That's how this got started.
Right.
So what if, going on your theory, what if we have Jey Uso winning the Rumble?
I would be okay with that. I would be
That
100% okay with that.
That would be very
It's like-
interesting because we've seen Jay do a lot more after he became this main event Jey Uso guy.
Right.
Like, we've
Jimmy,
seen
I
him.
also want to point.
We've
Speaking
seen
of
him
that,
enter an elimination chamber by himself, not with Jimmy. He's been in an elimination chamber by himself with people like Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, King Corbin.
speaking of the main event Jay thing, I haven't heard that on TV in a long time, but Corey Graves made it a point this week to point that out.
He
Yes.
did. He did. So he pointed it out Monday, and I noticed he pointed it out on Friday too. But before that, I haven't. It's been a long time.
So
So like
In a
this
minute,
whole time, you gotta imagine Jey Uso still got this resentment for Roman for what he did to him.
right?
And that's not forget,
See,
he also won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal as well.
He did.
Which
Yep.
another interesting point to bring up about him. He's starting to make his way up slowly but steadily, and not just as the tag team champion with his bro.
Right. And Cam, I think you were about to say something too.
Yeah, now you guys see why my prediction for this match was so short and sweet. Because, like I said, there's so many different angles. We could sit up here for 2 weeks talking
yeah.
about Jey Uso could interfere and Sami Zayn could play a part. Like, there's so many different angles. It's
What if-
weird, man.
What if we're all looking at it the wrong way, completely? What if we get a William Regal, John Moxley type deal playing into Roman and Paul?
Yeah, Paul turns on everyone all the time.
Exactly. I wouldn't put it past him to say, I'm done being your bitch.
Paul Heyman turning is the equivalent of Big Show turning all the time.
I wouldn't put it that bad. I mean, Big Show turned once a week, all right? Like, I turn my pillows over as much as he turns, all right? Like,
all right. So,
I don't.
And I have one last question. This one's just it's really kind of a quick one. So Sami Zayn, had to enter that tag match on Monday. I noticed, we all noticed that it was for the Raw tag team titles. So we were all certain, at least a lot of us were, that the titles were going to get split and the Judgment Day was going to win. That's not what happened. So how many of you thought that Sami Zayn was going to lose that match for them?
nope, not at all.
No?
The tag team match?
Yes.
No.
No.
Not at
Too
all.
early.
Because it seems like once Sami tagged in, you're like, oh, he's going to prove himself. They're going to win. But when it was the Usos, I'm like, I think a lot of us were pretty dead set on Judgment Day taking the tag titles from them.
so here's something, because you brought that up. You notice at the end of the match. Now I don't know if it's just the way they carry them or the way they do it, but Sammy was holding just the SmackDown, and
Yes.
Jimmy or Jay was just holding the Raw.
Right.
Okay. So that's the first time they've done that. They normally each have one
Exactly.
of their own. So
Right. Well, yeah.
this match
Sammy
was for
eventually
the
got
Raw
one.
ones, so that's why I think that's why they had him hold those up.
Right. And Sammy eventually took the other one and handed both of them to
Correct.
Uso.
He did, but it was just an interesting still image for
Right.
like a whole
Yes.
30, 45 seconds.
So-
And Sammy is just holding just the SmackDown.
Because it was one night when the on SmackDown when they were defending both of the titles, the Usos, and they had some. I think it was a Kevin Owens interference or whatever was going on, but you could see there's a still shot of one of the Usos holding the titles, and you could see Sammy's eyes just staring straight into one of the SmackDown belts.
Oh yeah, that's what I said to Shadow too. I'm like, oh, he likes the belts. He likes the belts. He's looking at them.
So
And
So, I mean, we like Cam just said, we could go for 2 weeks with this conversation because there's many
Right.
different variables.
And that's why I just left it at the 2 questions there.
I'm just going to bring up that this Friday is the semifinals for the SmackDown Tag Team Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
When are the finals taking place? Is it taking place at the Rumble?
No,
Or
I believe it's next Friday.
okay. So could the Usos lose those belts first?
They could, but the Usos are SmackDown superstars, so I don't know. I feel like they dropped the Raw ones first if they dropped one.
Yeah.
I guess it depends if Jimmy's actually. I mean, it's all kayfabe hurt because you can tell, but in storyline, it all depends if Jimmy's actually back or not.
Right.
Because if you're going against Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, Sammy in that match is the weakest link.
I weirdly want Imperium to win that tournament, and I want them to beat the
Even if you
Usos.
do it that way, you still have Sammy being the weak link in all them.
Right.
Imperium would be a
I-
very interesting choice because if you give the belts to Vinci and Kaiser, like that trio already has everybody on that team as gold. Because obviously Kaiser and Vinci have the tag belts, and you've got Gunther with the IC title.
Another theory into that, is I don't think because the Bloodline is a faction, they can technically defend the belts in the Freebird rule,
Which is exactly what they did Monday night.
which you can have Solo
No.
defending with. Yeah, it is technically a
I'm
thing.
saying for Monday night was not that case.
Hmm.
Because
I mean,
the only reason
was
that
the
happened
Monday.
is because the previous week during the gauntlet match that
Right.
they had, they allowed Dominic to sub in for Balor.
Right, but going forward, it can
Correct.
be. I mean, it still could have been at all time. It's defended as a Freebird rule because they're big enough in their faction.
Right.
So we can see Solo defend it with Jay if things don't go right this weekend with Sammy.
it makes me a little uncomfortable how much they've recently kind of been throwing up the X, even in kayfabe situations. It's a little weird to me.
Yeah, the whole mid match injury fake out. Yeah, it's getting a little annoying. I understand what you're saying.
But anyways, we are going off the rails a little bit here. So we got
Going off the rails. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
the
Crazy
reason that the
train.
Royal Rumble, the reason that the Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view of the year every year. It is because of the Royal Rumble match, and now in the last few years we've also added the women's Royal Rumble match. And when it first started, we're like, oh, how are they going to find 30 women to do this? And now we have this incredibly deep female roster full of some of the most talented women on the planet. I mean, it seems like there's a clear favorite for this one, but there's also some wild cards that you gotta consider. So, Jamie, why don't you take the lead on this one?
One word, Rhea.
Mommy.
Well, you should have said mommy.
You should have said mommy. And things were made.
You know, obviously people are saying she's the favorite,
Right.
but you know they've positioned her so good, and not even against women. I mean, she's standing up to the likes of Solo and the Bloodline. It's obviously they see a lot in Rhea to want to just strap the Rocky onto her and get her back into that title situation. And I think she's going to end up beating Bianca for that belt at Mania.
So, just because of the wording you did there with the position,
Oh my gosh.
I'm just gonna point something. No, it's not dirty. I swear to God. But I want to point out something that I noticed on the men's and women's posters. Now, obviously, I'm looking into this way too much because it's subtle, but it's there. Who, and you guys can all answer this before we all continue into our predictions here. But who is the front and center person on each poster?
Rhea and Cody.
Yes.
Right. And who does everybody think is going to win the Rumbles?
Rhea and Cody.
Rhea and Cody.
They're purposely triggering us to do this. I'm just saying. That's what I know.
With
But
that
continue.
being said, Shadow, who do you think is going to win this match?
Oh man, I have no idea. Like I said, with the subtlety of Rhea, I mean it's there, and I'd like to see Rhea. I mean she's earned it. She's been a dominant. She kind of reminds me of China meets somebody that can actually wrestle. Sorry, Joni Lawler, but you can no.
She was
Rest her soul.
no
Rest
lie.
her soul, but somebody that can actually wrestle. It's just I don't necessarily want it to be Rhea because I want it to be somebody new. I want it to be somebody element of surprise, maybe a comeback, maybe a debut, not an NXT debut, just an actual debut, like we did with AJ Styles. What 8 years ago? I think it was 8 years
Who do you have in mind?
I don't have anybody in mind.
Jay White.
That's the man.
the
I'm not
wrong
talking
one.
about the man.
That's the wrong
Who's-
one.
Yeah, right.
Not
What?
me.
You know,
Jay White, the women's. Let's do it.
No,
You know,
same
because just because of the way the Royal Rumble match it is itself, and the way for, say, a monstrous figure to go in there and just dominate. Camille Brickhouse, if you want to throw out that.
Oh Jesus!
All right. So, because I have to give a person, I can't just say I don't know because this is not what we do here. We're prediction. Not I don't know. You know, that's what we do.
I don't know.
So, this is a throwback to the beginning of this conversation of this evening. If Alexa loses in Alexa gear, we see Dark Lexi come back for the Rumble and win.
Oh, yes,
I
sir.
hate that idea.
That's my prediction.
It all depends on when the matches take place.
I don't think that even matters. You can't tell me that late. You can't tell me that beautiful woman can't do that in 30 seconds.
No. I'm saying you can't have
You
the
said-
women's
you
Royal
said
Rumble match
someone
first.
new. How about somebody new?
No, that would be somebody new. Alexa's never won the Rumble.
Yep.
Yeah, but she's already
And I don't-
been in that spot though.
And
With
also
the
Yeah,
kinda
but you've established her to this point where if she's going to lose against Bianca, she deserves to be in that title picture.
And I'd also like to kind of say that the Royal Rumble has never officially been like a match to catapult a young budding superstar. Stone Cold won it 3 times. Shawn Michaels won it twice. Randy Orton's won it twice. Like
John Cena's won it twice.
Becky Lynch won it when she was already the most over woman on the roster. You know, Charlotte
Fucking
won it.
Brock Lesnar fucking won
Brock
it,
Lesnar won it last year.
and then
like-
won the WWE Championship the night after.
Right.
Like,
So like, I get it, but like the Royal Rumble was never really. It's never really supposed to be that. It's supposed to be like a story to push forward, and you know, most of the time when some of the people winning the Rumbles are already established. That's just what I've noticed.
typically,
Hell, Triple H won it in 2016.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
yeah, that's garbage.
That was pointless. It was only because they wanted to take the WWE title off of Roman Reigns. That was the only goal.
So the only reason I said that,
I think,
Shadow.
and I,
Good.
No,
and Nate, I think that's the problem though. Like I think we have this issue with the Rumble having people win it who are already established is the issue. Like for me, the Rumble is supposed to be you're putting over somebody different, somebody new, and that almost never happens. That's the problem.
And
But
I think that's what the business side of it comes in, and that's where they need to sell tickets for their main event of WrestleMania.
but to play devil's advocate to Cam's point here, that's what the Money in the Bank's for.
Yeah,
That is true.
To
That is
catapult those
unless
young
you're
talent.
John
Yeah.
Cena.
Unless who wins it? Who did you
But-
say?
I was just saying that. Tell that to John Cena because John Cena won the Money in the Bank
Oh.
And he epically
And he failed. Yep.
because Big Show turned heel.
No, it's because he pre-announced when he was cashing it in.
Brock Lesnar won it too.
Hey, it worked
Yeah,
for Rob Van Dam.
Okay, yeah, John Cena had said beforehand he was going to win. He was going to use the Money in the Bank at this moment. Big E said the same thing on social media, and look what happened.
But
Yeah, I don't know. But like I said, Cam, I understand your point. I really do. And I understand Nate's point. But I think, like Nate said, the Royal Rumble is just already established talent going in, going out. And then my point was the Money in the Bank. That's for the talent to be like, what can we do here?
Unless you're Brock
Gives them a
Lesnar.
whole.
And
Right.
I think the times when a not fully established talent wins the Royal Rumble is when that person is at a point where winning the Rumble would fully establish them.
Yes.
So
Right, and they're so
Drew
behind.
McIntyre.
The crowd is so behind them.
Right. So like Drew McIntyre, the first time Shawn Michaels won it, he wasn't fully over yet. That kind of pushed him forward.
First time
Um,
Lesnar won it.
First time Lesnar won it. Batista, first time Batista won it. So like Undertaker didn't need to win it. Edge never needed to win it. You know, people like that twice. But yeah, I definitely think it's more of something that's already established, or the Rumble is the thing that is going to make them established. And I think the perfect example of that was Drew McIntyre.
I mean, heck, even when Vacant won it in 04, it definitely cemented that storyline going in. So
Right. So who hasn't talked about this match? Who they think is going to win yet?
me.
Cam, Jamie,
And
Bill,
me.
and you.
I've said Rhea.
Oh, right, you did. Oh, Scal, excuse me.
So
Bill?
what I was saying to you, Shadow, before was
Okay, shit.
if this match is first, you can't do that with Alexa. That's the only thing I was saying.
No, obviously timing is everything, but you're not
Right.
going to start the pay-per-view with a women's rumble or men's rumble.
They typically do. They sandwich.
I don't think
everything-
they will this
they,
time.
They sandwich everything normally between the two rumbles, so this way they have matches to break everything up.
Well, it's not going to be the men's. With all due respect to the women, it's not going to be the men's because it's a bigger pop than the men that are expected.
And I think the people that are going to show up in the men's deserve to be in the main event spot. But we'll touch base on that when we get there.
I do have, who does everyone think are going to be some of the surprises in the women's rumble? Just a few.
Let's get our predictions
Let's
out.
do the predictions, then we'll discuss that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because we all have who we think is going to show up.
Right.
I honestly would like to see Shayna win this because it can reestablish her as a top star and put her right into the title picture. Because
Absolutely.
the whole thing that happened with Ronda before Ronda decided to go bye-bye was building her back up. And this would be a continuation of how to do that.
Yes.
And with the way she dominated the Chamber a few years ago, and I know everybody hated it, but that is exactly
I mean-
how you do it to make somebody strong. In the
Okay.
division.
How the heck do you how can you hate the Elimination Chamber with
Because
Shayna Baszler
because she-
when you
because
know
she knocked everybody out.
Baszler is a top-notch killing machine. Literally, you had Asuka, Natalya, and the entire Riot Squad in there. Riot Squad, easy pickings. Natalya may put up a fight, but probably gone. And like Asuka's probably the most over one in there, other than Shayna. And Shayna was a a trained killer, a murker,
Merker.
and if that does not prove anything, that she should have been Raw Women's Champion at WrestleMania 36, I don't know what the hell doesn't.
A match that Becky wrestled while 4 weeks pregnant.
Correct. You are absolutely right. I agree with you 100%. She should have won that. And that's why I'm saying she needs to win this to get back to that.
I agree.
You know-
I agree. That is a very good solid pick.
I would say the same thing for Asuka.
Oh,
I mean, we
she's not
haven't
an-
seen us in a while.
She's not announced right now, so hold off on that.
Cam?
If you think she's gonna win, that's a great pick, honestly. But we'll discuss what's gonna happen with her, and I have an opinion on that one.
Cam, what do you think, man?
Well, you know, it's funny. Everybody's saying Rhea, and I get it. I mean, I think that's kind of a no-brainer. But personally, and I'm pretty sure Shadow's gonna hate me for saying this, but
You say
the
Gigi
person
Doe is more
that-
bad.
no, the person that I would like to see come back and win this actually is Naomi. I think Naomi worked her ass off before she, what happened with Sasha, obviously. But yeah, for her to come back and win this, I think that would be a great push for Naomi, and for her to go to WrestleMania and get that big title push would do wonders for her. So yeah, my pick obviously is going to be Rhea, but my heart wants Naomi to come back and win this, so I'm taking Rhea.
Did you say that you think I would hate that?
No, he said me.
Oh, Shadow.
Shadow.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think Naomi deserves it, but
I know. Well,
hey,
there's a few people on the server that don't like Naomi, so I understand that.
but hey, that's Cam's pick, and I can respect it for now.
So I think that leaves me, after I'm done sneezing my brains out. I do think this is going to kind of throw you guys for a loop. And I think it's just because it's been quietly building in the background. Rhea Ripley, I think, is too obvious. Rhea Ripley can still make it to WrestleMania and face Bianca Belair for the championship without winning this match. Because
Fair.
the person who wins it could be someone from SmackDown, and they could challenge Charlotte Flair. It could be Shayna. It could be Ronda returning and winning another one. I doubt it. But I think y'all are missing something that's been building in the background, and it's just so big, it's almost impossible to miss. A returning Nia Jax.
Hey,
Get out of
I'm
here.
kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
I was gonna say she's already announced that she's done with wrestling. So,
Nah, it's gonna be Eva Marie. Come on, guys.
Oh my God.
many people are talking about that.
Anyway,
Please do
You
not.
done lost your damn mind, son.
So
All right,
take
sorry,
everything-
Nate. Go ahead.
take the Nia Jax, throw that out the window. But everything else I said, dead on. Like it looks like it's been slowly building in the background. Liv Morgan is, as much as some people probably don't want to see it, I wouldn't hate it if Liv Morgan won. But no one's gone from one to finish before. And I think
Right.
Liv does.
But do we know that she is actually coming out as one?
She's been
said
advocating
that
for it
She
enough.
declared.
She's been advocating for it enough that she wants to be the first entrant because she has something to prove. So I think they give her that opportunity, and I think they roll with it.
Okay.
You know
And-
what though, Nate? Not to cut you off,
No,
but
you're good.
I actually kind of like that pick solely because of the slight character development that they have put with Liv, with like her going crazy and things like that. I like that pick
And
just
who-
because.
Who is the one woman on the roster that can get a fantastic match out of Liv Morgan and put her over as a babyface? Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte?
It is Charlotte fucking Flair.
That means
Ronda
they would
Rousey's
have
not
to
that
turn
guy.
Charlotte.
Ronda's not that guy.
Not that guy, huh? Yeah, I mean that's fair.
She's not that guy, pal.
Not that guy. Yeah, that's good around the board for sure.
Phil, you said
Um,
Rhea?
I think we
Yeah, I
all had Rhea other than Nate.
I didn't say Rhea.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Who did you
I
say?
did not. I said Shayna.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh right, forgot.
I
You
said
said-
Liv, Scal said Shayna, and I think the other four of you said
So,
Rhea.
Nate, in regards to Liv, I want to see her be the Iron Woman of this match. Not necessarily win it, but I want her to be the one that's in there the longest. And I think that would help her character more than winning it. And her
Right.
I agree.
So, guess for bonus, real quick, since Jamie brought it up, why don't we go around the circle and predict who we think might return during this match? Scal, we'll just go in a circle. Scals, and then go to Shadow, then Phil, then Cam, then
Oh.
Jamie.
How
Not
many
just
do we pick?
return.
I don't. As
Agreed.
many as you want.
Okay.
I'd say 2 weeks. Just
I'd say
keep it
2 to
moving.
3. Yeah, 2 to
Okay,
3.
because right now there's 23 open spots. So we are planning. There are probably planning for quite a few returns here. Or
Right, at least
surprises.
one.
Right.
I'm not gonna say what Cam said because I think that's an obvious one.
This motherfucker's gonna say Mercedes.
I think we are getting Chelsea Green.
Okay.
I think we are gonna get Mickey James,
Ooh.
and I think we are getting Mercedes
Again.
Monet.
Mm.
And I think we're getting Mercedes as Mercedes, not as Sasha Banks.
Interesting.
The
I
spicy.
think I see it. I think I see a tree and a rowboat back for that. But anyways,
Those are the three that I pick.
Shadow, who do you think?
so I want to say I'm gonna come out of left field here. It's gonna be 3 surprises, but I think we might. I think Tessa has calmed down enough. We might see Tessa Blanchard
Ugh.
finally,
Oh God.
finally get her
Not
little
big.
me time in WWE. Yeah, that's more or less than anything. Now I might butcher this, and it's a New Japan name, but Hana Kimura, Kimura, it's Kimura.
Yeah, it's Kimura.
Like a Kimura
Yeah.
lock.
Okay, that's actually a good call out, Shadow.
And I haven't seen her in a while. I don't know. I don't watch Impact, but Rosemary.
Ooh, I like that.
I think she was just on it tonight, actually.
But those are my 3 surprises. I don't really have any comebacks because I don't give a shit about Mercedes or Naomi.
Yeah.
I don't care to see Mickey James again in the Rumble,
Me neither.
but I don't know. That's my picks.
Bill?
Okay. I'm gonna say one that most likely will not be in it whatsoever. But I remember seeing some people mention that it would be great if she came back for a Royal Rumble, and it's one person I would love to see in the Women's Royal Rumble make a return. None other than the IWGP Women's Champion, Kyrie. Yeah.
I mean, from the sounds of it, that door is open, right?
I know she's heavily involved right now in New Japan, especially with her being the women's champion. But I feel like that would just be something. Mickey James was able to return last year as the Impact Knockouts champion. I mean, why not do the same thing? Except but instead you're dealing with Kairi Sane as the inaugural IWGP Women's Champion. So, like, say Mercedes Moné was already in the Rumble, and then Kairi Sane comes in, you're already just adding more gasoline to the fire that could possibly turn into an inferno by the time Battle in the Valley comes around in February.
Okay.
Like that's just one. I guess one question before I move on is like when we say returns, like do like any NXT people call ups in that same area or no?
Yeah, you could say that.
You can use them.
Okay,
Sure.
okay, fair enough. One person I had in mind was Nikita Lyons, but after Tuesday's NXT where she suffered a torn ACL and meniscus, I'm like, well, that's out of the picture.
I see that.
I think somebody I personally would like to see it depends. I guess it depends on whether it seems interesting or not. I would probably like to see Alba Fire.
Okay.
Just possible one, knowing former NXT UK Women's champion before Miko Satomura, but I mean, I think she's a great. She does great overall at, as a character and as a pro wrestler. And then I guess if I had to go with if I had to go with maybe just one more, this one might be a little bit off the wall as well, but also though from New Japan, Utami Hayashishita.
Cam, what do you think is going to happen?
Right.
Who, me? Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Who do you
okay.
think is going to show up in a surprise capacity?
Okay, so one of the obvious ones I was gonna go with possibly Mercedes, and then I'm gonna say my second one is gonna be a returning Carmella, and then
That would be a
I'll
surprise.
go, yeah, and then my third one I'm gonna go with the reigning NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez.
Ooh.
There you go.
Ooh, I have thought about that one for a bit.
Yeah, buddy.
On the back. Whoop.
Jamie?
Alrighty, so kind of not who I'd want to see, but kind of who I think would kind of end up being in there as surprise. You've seen the tweets, probably have it because who cares? Kind of. Michelle McCool, I think, will probably be there.
Alright.
Summer Rae, I think, because they'll keep
boy.
inviting people back. And then let me think of one for NXT. Gosh. That's the thing. You think Nikita Lyons. I think Zoe Stark maybe.
Roy Stark.
Ooh.
Okay. So for mine, I'll go with a legend, a return, and an NXT transport. I think the NXT transport, whether
you
it's a
finished with
one-off
transport.
appearance, what?
I'm glad you finished with transport.
Whatever you want to call it. NXT
Never mind.
So,
Continue.
so whether it's a one-off, I think it'll be a one-off just to get her some exposure. I think we're going to see Tiffany Stratton.
Ooh, yes.
A returning star, I do believe we will see Naomi.
Yes.
I don't think she's going to win, but I do think she will show up, get a huge pop. I do also think Nia Jax is going to show up. I will just throw that out there.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
Oh Lord.
I don't want her to, but I'm seeing it everywhere.
Her whole
And apparently, yeah, I'm
Get the
seeing
caution tape now.
everywhere.
That's
Whether
with her whole.
and as far as legends go, I think this woman has been glaringly omitted from the Hall of Fame, and I think this would be a perfect opportunity to kind of push that towards the Hall of Fame. Kind of like, I mean, I've seen it happen before. Like Jeff Jarrett did it, but like to kind of push their name into the Hall of Fame as a potential inductee this year, and I think we see Sable.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Heck, Lesnar could do anything, right?
Hey, you watch how you talk about Brock Lesnar.
So we have missed
I like
some
Brock.
people, which surprises me. But the chat is saying Indy Hartwell.
I would love that.
Jamie, didn't you mention Asuka before?
Oh yeah.
Except I
That would
think,
be a
I
surprise.
think she comes back as Kana, but they're not going to use the name.
Just that character,
That character with her name Asuka.
right?
And I think that's one of my dark horses to face Charlotte at Mania for the SmackDown strap.
Right.
Revenge for 34.
So, we've gotten into every single match except for the men's namesake match of the pay-per-view, the men's Royal Rumble.
Santina Morella.
Prince,
This one,
as much as that would be hilarious,
That would be
Santino
funny,
is signed to Impact.
yes.
So I don't think
this
Santina
forbidden
can
door.
come to WWE.
I mean,
Oh,
TNA
Lord.
and WWE, or excuse me, Impact and WWE work together.
they more or less just had to apologize to Mickey James for sending her a bag of trash.
Pretty much.
I mean, her career. But anyhow, continue.
So this match may be a little bit harder to predict. I mean, obviously the front runner seems to be Cody Rhodes, but I don't know. I don't know. Who wants to start this one?
Well, here, I got an idea.
You're not.
I got an idea. How about we start off with who we think our surprises will be, and
There we
then get into the winners.
Oh, interesting. I guess we can just go around the circle again, Scales.
Jay White.
Of
That's
course.
just one.
I don't know how I feel, but like Jay White in the Rumble would be absolutely insane.
So here's my reasoning for this. He was scheduled for a match on February 18th at the New Japan pay-per-view. That match is no longer being advertised.
Okay.
And he's a free agent after that. He was supposed to be a free agent after that match. His contract is up. I think he comes to WWE and it's not a one-off. I think he comes there, and then I think he comes back and signs a contract, and then he goes there, and then we have phenomenal matches between him, Seth Rollins, Shinsuke, like everybody.
He can just start off by feuding with the OC if he wants. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Look at you, mate. You're part of the Bullet Club. Now look what you're doing, parading around with these two traitors as well. And now you want to add a woman? Oh, no, bro.
Shadow, who's popping up in the men's rumble?
Yeah, that's never. Don't say it like that. So I have three. I want to say Tamatonga,
Ah,
I
Yeah.
don't hate that. I don't hate that.
Jay
at all.
White,
Yes.
obviously. Okay, I have four. My bad. Will Ospreay.
Ooh.
And my fourth one, and I feel like this is gonna fall on a lot of deaf ears because not many people understand who he is. But I want to hear the coin drop and Okada come out.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okada.
I would love to see Okada, just even if it's a one-off. But I would just love to hear that coin drop at the Rumble, and then Okada come out.
Yeah,
I don't hate that idea either. That place would probably go nuts.
To hear the coin drop, people would lose their shit.
I would
yeah.
hope that people lose their shit.
Oh, I think
I just hope the American audience, especially the WWE audience, would know.
That's kind of what I mean, right? Like, are they gonna know who it is?
Some kids would know who the hell that is, though.
Right.
This is
But
real.
those are my four. Yes, they're big names, but those are big names that could come over, make that gasp out of us, and
Right.
Sammy, I understand you're excited to say that you want Randy Orton to show up at the Rumble. But he is still coming off of a major back surgery. I don't think he's going to be ready. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
poor girl's dreams. Jesus.
I also think when he comes back, his wrestling style is going to be drastically different. It's kind of going to be like when Stone Cold came back after the neck injury.
Right. So, Phil, what do you
Unfortunately.
think? Oh, sorry, Jamie.
No, go ahead.
All right. Phil, who's popping up in the Royal Rumble?
For the man, okay. Of course, if you guys have seen like some like one of the clips I've posted on TikTok in like the past few weeks, I've got to go with my man. I got to go with my man's Mr. Woo. You know it, Matt Cardona.
Finally, somebody said it.
I mean, like, it's not just the fact that it's like, oh, I kind of want to see Zack Ryder again, which is weird because Matt Cardona just got like got the copyright for the name Zack Ryder again.
I'm not 100% confident that's true.
No.
Okay.
I think it is. He's copyrighted everything on it.
Okay, because the
That
thing
makes
is for me,
figures.
if I want Matt Cardona / Zack Ryder to come in, I'm I'm just gonna be waiting for the always winning, because if I hear a radio, I'm turning it off.
What
I
if he
don't
come
need to hear
out?
that one anymore. Like I
Phil,
love
what
always
if-
winning a lot better. Like like
Phil.
everything's better. Usually everything's better with downstate. But anyway,
Phil, what if he did this, comes out to radio, grabs the mic and says, can't obviously swear, it's PG, but something along the lines of, fuck this guy, and then boom, cuts to the Matt Cardona. And
hey, cut the music! Cut the music! What the hell is this?
Shadow. While I would
We
say
are
that
going
on
off the rail.
TV, they're on Peacock, so they can do what the hell they want.
Okay, well, you know what I'm saying, but he's not gonna go out and say, well, fuck this guy, right? Like, so to keep a project, a PG-ish project.
Yeah. So anyway, to go on with any other real picks that have really that I'd like to see. I mean, I know there's been like some talk a little bit about this, but I've been hearing that they've wanted Nick Aldis to show up in the Rumble.
Okay.
I think that one would be pretty interesting.
That would be a fantastic get by WWE if that was the case.
Yep. And then as far as like anybody else, I feel like this would be I feel like if they really want to do this and like probably do a little bit of foreshadowing for Vengeance Day, I say bring Braun Breaker into the Rumble.
All right.
I think he's gonna be there anyways.
Fair enough. But then if it's not, but then for NXT choices, if it's not Braun Breaker, at least give us the man that don't miss, Mr. Carmelo. Like Carmelo Hayes, or if you want to really debut somebody for the very first time from another promotion, such as AAA, Dragon Lee.
There you go.
Bring all Dragon back.
Cam?
Okay, so I've got four. My four are, I would say, well, Shadow already said one of them. Will Ospreay, obviously. Another one would be Stone Cold, Steve Austin. I would say my third one would be a returning Rick Boogs.
Yes, I have been wondering. I would be so happy if Rick came back. You know,
that,
just
that,
like
that would be a good one.
James Rick.
It was an ACL tear, so that's tough. He would have had to bust his ass.
Yeah, that's very true. Very, very
It's
true.
9 months. So
Rick Boogs brought us some really great moments, especially every time he introduced Shinsuke with that Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yo, he did that so loud his mic cracked.
God,
That was great.
man.
My
Cam,
fourth
you got
one.
more? Yep, go ahead.
My fourth and final one. I forget who said. I think Phil said my fourth one as well. So I'm gonna change my fourth one. My fourth one now, I would say, would be Grayson Waller from NXT.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, I like that too.
Jamie, what you got for us, man?
Alrighty, someone who is freshly a free agent, Naito.
Ooh.
Tetsuya Naito from Los Ingobernables de Japón.
Yes, Phil. That would be him.
Thank you, Wrestling Encyclopedia. I mean, AKA Phil.
And
Jesus, continue.
also just a dark horse. No one's brought this probably up in a while. Andrade.
Ooh.
Still under contract with AEW, though.
is he though?
He's still on their roster.
Yeah, but there is rumors. I did hear that.
We remember we
mean,
thought that about
Cody
Malachi.
was on the roster until
Yeah, Sasha was on the roster all the way until after she debuted in New Japan.
Until her contract just... Well, no, she was moved to the alumni section before she showed up in New Japan.
Maybe it was
yeah,
like the day
3 or 4
before.
days before.
Who
And
else?
then, of course, he said Damatanga earlier. This one's gonna make everybody mad, but obviously, it's probably gonna happen. Goldberg,
Go away. Leave. Come back.
and then my last one, I think is gonna be Edge.
Yeah, it's probably a
Be
no-brainer.
surprised. He's been off TV for like 4 months now.
And then they're gonna start up a program with Finn Balor and kind of finish up what they had going.
So I'll piggyback off of that real quick. If he shows up, we get his wife in the women's.
Sure.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. So, I guess that leaves me.
Yes, sir.
I think one of the obvious ones that I think we're going to be seeing come back, although it's still going to technically be a surprise because he's been gone for a while now, Logan Paul. I do think we see Logan Paul this Saturday.
That would
Not
be
too
great.
early?
That would be great.
No. Once we thought it was an ACL at first, but then he announced it was just a PCL, and it was 6 weeks timetable. It's been longer than that.
Mm.
I think
I mean,
it's
he is featured-
and I think he has a
is
face
featured in
off.
the
What's up?
he is featured in the 2K commercial as well. So
Mhm.
the timing of the trailer being released, and yeah, maybe.
And I think he has a face-off with another returning superstar who we just saw on New Year's Eve, John Cena.
Mm.
I think we see John Cena also. And then, finally, I believe we see the Switchblade.
Yeah.
Jay White.
I agree. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
but I
you're
do have
good.
one more. I think since they are in San Antonio and kind of promotional leading into WWE 2K, I think we do see Bad Bunny back.
Mm.
Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad idea, honestly.
No,
I just want to see Bad Bunny hit a Canadian Destroyer on Logan Paul.
That'd be
I don't know if you
Dreams.
can trust Logan Paul for that yet.
So let's move into who we're going to pick for the winning. But I just want to mention
Well,
one
hang
name
on.
before everybody else forgot. Pat McAfee.
Right. Now, I felt like you were going to allude to this before, because you did, but I'm going to steal it now because you didn't bring it up. I think we see the Fiend in the Royal Rumble.
Ooh.
Hmm.
I hinted that before, but I didn't know if anybody else
Yeah,
picked it
that's
up.
why I stole it. I stole it.
I do think we will see him in the Rumble. I don't
I mean,
think
we
there's-
could potentially see the 4 faces or 3 faces of Bray in the Rumble too, as a Mick Foley kind of thing.
There's only 15
You can
spots.
see the,
Please don't do
cult
that.
leader, bro.
Can we do a 40-man Rumble again?
Yes,
No.
they should go to a 40-man Rumble, honestly.
Oh, no, that's way too long.
Now,
No, you cut down the time in between each one.
Yeah, that's what happens. You have a 40-man Royal Rumble match, and then all of a sudden, fucking Alberto Del Rio is winning it.
yeah.
No.
I mean, I'd rather watch Brad Maddox or Xavier Woods win. Oh, sorry, that's not what we're talking about.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
Before we get into our final picks of who we got to actually win the Rumble, let me throw out a little conspiracy theory for y'all. What if tomorrow night on SmackDown, Adam Pearce says, "You know what? I've had enough of your shit, Roman. You're defending the WWE title twice tomorrow night. One in the Rumble, and then one against Kevin Owens."
I mean, I don't hate that idea, but they also already did the Roman Reigns defending his title in the Rumble thing once.
They did.
And we got
I know.
Triple H champion out of it.
That's
At
why I
the
think.
age of 49.
That's why I think that could be a Triple H thing to do.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I don't hate that idea as long as he loses the WWE title in the Rumble match. Then that's fine with me.
Throw him out in the middle of the match, and everybody will pop.
Fucking Sami Zayn enters 30 after Roman's been eliminated and wins it. That
Gold.
would be amazing.
Anyways,
All right,
now we go into our actual winners.
Could you
Yes.
imagine if that was his final test? That he has to keep the belt within the bloodline?
Ooh. Interesting. Well, Scales, who do you think is going to win the men's rumble with all this being said?
Who do I want to win it? Or who I think will win it?
This is a
Oh.
prediction show.
So I would love to see Seth win it. but I think we will get Cody Rhodes winning it.
Okay. Shadow?
I'm on par with Scales here. Seth to win, but it's going to be Cody.
Okay. Bill, who's winning the men's rumble?
If it was me, I know it's going to be Cody, but if there was somebody that I'd like to win in place of Cody, I don't really I mean, I know there are like 29 other guys, but there's not a lot that I would really say, should really win it. I mean, Austin Theory's in it. He's the United States champion. Gunther's in it, and he's the IC champion. I don't really see what either of them have to really gain from it.
As a world championship.
But if I had to go with somebody that I guess maybe people wouldn't expect, I want to say somebody along the likes of maybe, I don't know, Finn Balor.
I wouldn't mind that.
Faction versus faction right there.
Yep.
Right.
Cam?
100% Cody Rhodes. End of story. Cody Rhodes, he's got the best story going into it. Cody Rhodes. I really don't care to see anybody else win it. Maybe Sami Zayn. I mean, that would be an incredible story as well. But it's got to be Cody Rhodes.
All right. Jamie?
You know what? I'm gonna throw the curveball. I think Seth is gonna win it.
Ooh.
I think Cody getting held back with the injury. I think there's still some more development in that story.
Right.
I do. I think it's gonna lead up to Mania, but I think we might get a night one where Seth is probably gonna have a title match.
Now, I'll let Nate speak before I say something about that.
So,
Go ahead.
it's interesting that you say that because the way I actually am predicting this match to go, I believe so. Like, there's three potential winners that would all make sense storyline wise. Sami Zayn makes a lot of sense because, I mean, his story is probably the best story to tell right now.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at a marquee in Los Angeles that says Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn is not going to sell the most tickets. As much as that is the best and most comprehensive and most emotionally satisfying story that they can possibly tell right now, it's not going to happen. I love Sami Zayn, but he's not a WrestleMania main event guy right now. However, one guy, Seth
Don't say
Rollins.
it.
Seth Rollins has never main evented WrestleMania. He technically crashed one WrestleMania, but his name was not on the marquee for that match.
Right.
And so, like, I think he has more than earned that kind of distinction to main event, whether it's night one or night two. I think he's earned that distinction. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns is a big matchup that is WrestleMania worthy. Seth Rollins has been the workhorse of that company since the minute he stepped foot into it. And then, the other story that also makes way too much sense, and I think is also part of his contract with WWE that he gets this, Cody Rhodes. So what I think is going to happen, I think we have a double elimination between Seth and Cody at the very end. And I think that is what it goes for. And I think that Seth picks the WWE Championship, and Cody picks the Universal Championship. That way Seth can have that match with Roman, and Cody can have his match with Roman.
I think it's the opposite if you're going that route.
You think Cody's going to take the WWE title?
Yes, because that's the one that means more to him from his dad.
I guess that makes sense.
And
but
then that's how you get the belt off of Roman.
Right. So Cody can take the WWE title. I mean, I just kind of threw out belts, but you make that's a good point. Cody Rhodes can take the WWE title off of Roman, and whether or not Seth Rollins beats Roman for the Universal title, I don't know. It might. There's two stories that could go there. They could do Roman really can't beat Seth, or he finally finds a way to beat Seth. It could go either way.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They've only had what? This would be if this happens. This would be their third headlining match.
Yes.
I think so.
Who has a similar story to that? Who finally got over the hump in the third one?
Brock and Roman.
Rock and Austin.
Oh well, Brock and Roman too, because Roman's was 0-2 against Brock at
But
WrestleMania.
you could play Roman and Seth in the same style as Stone Cold Rock.
Right.
And
Okay.
I would still open it with My Way because that's still the best promo of all time.
You think you're special, special. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would fit perfectly for Roman because he thinks he's special.
You're right. So it looks
I
like
think I just created a video idea I got to do.
There you go.
So it looks like we got 4 for Cody Rhodes. We got Jamie over there throwing the Seth Rollins curveball, and then me throwing the curveball with both.
Now,
Yeah.
what I wanted to ask, since we've all predicted now, what is everybody's hard on, I'll say it this way, for Roman defending twice that weekend?
I don't understand it at all.
Okay. So I don't think it's anybody's hard on for that. I think it's just a way to get one of the belts off of him.
I mean, I'm feeling rock solid.
Why was Scal saying hard on so funny?
But my point here, and hey, all due respect to all 5 of you, thank you from the bottom of my heart for not saying The Rock. Thank you.
I don't want The Rock to show up.
I don't think he is.
It's
I mean,
kinda
I've heard Rock so much, I think I want to beat my head in with a rock.
Right, and it's like exactly what happened with Ronda last year. As soon as Ronda showed up, we're like, oh, she's fucking winning. That's exactly how it would go with if Rock showed up. If Rock shows up in the Rumble, he's not going to lose. He's going to win it.
I'd rather
Now,
see
if Rock showed up to interfere in KO Roman, I'd be all right with that. But I don't want to see Rock anywhere in a position to get a title shot.
Right, if he interferes in the title match, I don't give a shit. That's fine. That's great. He needs to stay far away from the Rumble.
Yeah.
And then you'd have the discussion of just having a straight match for the head of the head of the table.
And see, that's another thing. If the title's on the line, Roman's not losing that fucking match.
No, it wouldn't make sense.
And I honestly don't think he loses that match even if there's no title on the line. But having the title on the line would make it that much more obvious.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I honestly don't understand the whole Roman defending both night 1 and 2. Personally, I think that's overkill. Just have him defend one night
He
and
doesn't
be done with
necessarily
it.
have to main event both nights.
Is
but
that
he probably would if that was the case.
Right.
is that why you would want to split the titles beforehand?
I don't think splitting the titles before WrestleMania has any kind of positive effect. I think that before WrestleMania, at this point, when we're this close to WrestleMania, I don't think it's a good idea to split them.
I
before.
think it dilutes it.
It does. It makes whichever title gets off of Roman
Makes it less special. Yeah.
Yep.
I agree, and I think for that sake, because whoever does, quote unquote, dethrone Roman, that pop is going to be massive.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you could have Cam and Scals are going to hate me for this, but you could literally have a guy who I don't even think deserves to be in the picture, Ali, pin Roman 1, 2, 3, and that pop's going to go boom.
I wouldn't hate it.
Yes.
Wouldn't hate it.
I would.
I would.
I would not.
I would turn off my television set.
He got screwed out.
I
of
would,
the
because-
Money in the Bank
Ali.
years ago, and he deserves something. So I would not hate
All right.
it.
I got one more
Do I think
curveball
he
for
can-
you.
Shadow, what you got?
Winner of the men's rumble, the wrestling god of the modern day, Baron Corbin.
Boo.
I bet he gets eliminated by like a returning Fandango or something.
What better way to end Roman's streak than to be hit with quote unquote end of days?
Yo, come on.
He started it.
Corbin was the last man to pin Roman Reigns. If he was
Well, I thought of it.
18,
titles off of
2019.
Roman, in 2019.
Yep.
So if Corbin is the one to dethrone Roman Reigns as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, it would be the man that put him down in the first place. He just be ready, say I am inevitable, end of days, 1, 2, 3. and new.
So
No.
Then
hold on. I would have
No.
believed you
No,
beforehand,
no.
but they've ruined his finisher by having Drew kick out.
That is
That's
true.
facts.
That is
That's facts.
true.
So now
that
anybody
is
can kick out. Now it doesn't matter. So that would not happen. If he had never,
The
nobody ever
only-
kicked out of
only
it,
per-
it'd be done.
I would say the only
I don't
person
think it needs to
that's
happen,
out of it
period.
being Drew McIntyre is not a bad thing.
It is when it was the most protected finisher in WWE, and you had that happen when it did not need to happen.
They put
That
over
is
Drew
true.
though, didn't they?
absolutely.
Okay.
He didn't need to be put over. He already had the title at that point. He lost it. What was he coming back for? It wasn't during his title run.
Well,
It put him over even more.
we can talk
Never
about
mind.
that.
To lose to Roman in Clash.
Well, maybe you're
Hey,
trying
you know what the
Drew
best part about this is?
matter.
Come Sunday night, we're all going to be right back where we are right now. Probably arguing with each other about the stupid results that might happen.
This is very true.
It's going to be entertaining. Which, if you guys don't know, Sunday night we're doing our review show of all this madness that we just unleashed on you.
I would love to be back for it.
So it should be good.
So, anyways, does anyone else have any final thoughts on the Royal Rumble pay-per-view before we sign off here?
Who do you think is
Number
going to be
30
number 1 and 2? Maybe
Cody
even
and
number 3.
Seth.
I
Cody
think,
Cody and Seth would be amazing.
I think
Start
you're
that
going to
match.
get Sammy number 1, Seth number 2, and then Cody number 3.
Sam,
I think it's
Listen,
gonna be Cody. I think it'll be Cody number 1, and then number 2 you're gonna hear "Stand back." There's a hurricane.
Hurricane coming through.
Listen, and this is a shout out to the wrestling lady on TikTok, but I think Cody comes out number 4.
I saw that. Yep.
That was his most recent number he's tweeted.
How about Damian Sandow temporarily reforming the Rhodes Scholars?
Oh my god!
Didn't he just
I mean, he's
recently announce
retired,
his
but
retirement?
sure. I mean, yeah. How many other wrestlers have showed up while they were retired in the Rumble?
We need Ric Flair to start this at number 2. All right.
God, they would kill Flair.
I think Flair would
That,
dive way
that
over
or
the
you'd
way.
have to say, settle down before you blow your pacemaker, kid.
So, without further ado, everybody's done their piece. Nate, gracious host tonight. Can we, Jamie, where can we find you?
Gosh, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at Jamie Rose X. That's where you can find me, man.
All right. Mr. Phil, bring this energy. Promote yourself to know tomorrow. Let's hear it.
Continue, sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
Oh, what?
Promote yourself.
Where can we
Where
find
can we
you?
find you?
Okay. Sorry.
Get your hand
So
up again.
everybody, you can check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and Twitch under Phil the Future. Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
As always, thank you to our gracious guest tonight. Now back to our crew. Cam, where can we find you?
Well, I'm not gonna be able to match Phil's energy, but you definitely can find me on TikTok at Cam's Wrestling Corner and on Instagram at 317 Bacon Eggs and Cam.
Yes.
Every fucking time.
Right for the champions.
Every fucking time that kills me.
Every time. You guys can find me over on TikTok, that guy Shadow91, or you can find our, or you can also find me on Shadow Realm Madness, and you can catch our Off the Top page too on TikTok at Off the Top LLC.
Absolutely.
Scals, where can we find you, buddy?
So you can find us on Twitter or on YouTube or on Twitch with Off the Top Media, on Twitter as Off the Top Pod, and myself, I'm also on TikTok and Twitter at Scouts24.
And then to attend this roundabout, Nate, where can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok at Nate McNamara WYB. Oh no, WB. Sorry, at Nate McNamara WB. You can also find me on the Wrestle Bros, at the Wrestle Bros on TikTok. That's pretty much all that we go towards. There's a link in my bio towards all my other social medias on TikTok, so feel free to check it out. Check out some merch for me for Off the Top, and hopefully Prince, well, we can get that one back up for him. I don't know why it got taken out for copyright, but whatever.
And Cam's is coming
also,
soon.
I just have one question really quick.
Are
and
you
that's
ready?
for Phil. Phil,
Phil.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
Where the fuck did you come from tonight? Like literally just came out of nowhere.
He came from
He RKO'd the chat. Now.
No. Sorry.
Were you just
Yep.
in Discord and you're like, oh fuck it, I'll join? Like,
I was on Discord a little bit earlier, and then I saw the thing that was like, you know, we're on. Off the Top's on tonight. I'm like, oh, why not?
well, we appreciate it. Special
mad.
guest
You're
of a
fucking
special
amazing.
guest. Now, with that
Oh.
being said, Off the Top is back now in a full swing. We are starting season 2 tonight. This was the premiere episode of season 2. You can catch
Yes,
us
sir.
this Sunday. I think time is 2 to be determined, but you guys will know as soon as we figure it out.
yes.
For our
Also-
review show.
Oh, sorry.
No, Nate, what would you like to say?
Yeah, the review show. And then also next Thursday, we are also bringing back the return of the career retrospective segment. We will be tackling the entire career of one John Moxley. So feel free to tune into that Thursday night at 9.
Tomorrow
And
night,
I believe
we'll be able
there's.
to check
there it
the
is.
cam out. Tomorrow we're doing our This Week in Wrestling. It goes off at 10 p.m. right after SmackDown. Come join us for that.
Hey.
And of course, obviously, typically we would promote Prince's show for Saturday, but with the Royal Rumble coming up, there will be no Prince's Media Corner. So that'll resume next week. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you again to Jamie and Phil for just popping in for this great episode of Off the Top Predictions. We'll catch you on Sunday.
Damn, everybody.
Deuces.
Have a good night, guys.